Hello and welcome to Make the Logo Bigger. My name is Brenton. This podcast is your gateway into the world of advertising production, crafted especially for those who are stepping in new, aiming to become producers, or simply eager to understand the inner workings of advertising and marketing. We're here to share insights and knowledge you've been looking for, with stories, tips, and real conversations from the pros. We're simplifying the process for everyone with a production curiosity. Whether you're just starting out or keen to explore the production side of ads, you've found the right place. Let's jump in. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're going to chat one key component of a project or a production, and you could say it's the most important, and it is budget. What it is, how it's given to you, sometimes how you work back from it. Most importantly, if you were to think of a budget, the budget is really the invisible brief. Yes, you do get a creative idea, but the budget itself will dictate how you bring the idea to life. So is it a creative idea first or is it the budget first? It can be either way. There's no right or wrong. What it will be, though, is the budget does play just as important part of what the creative idea is, because understanding how budget works will then dictate how your entire approach is to production. So understanding the role of the budget. Yes, it is money. Yes, it is defined, but it can be done in so many ways with budgets. Think of it, as I said before, as the invisible brief, because you can be given an idea, but someone may say that there's a figure attached, but that dollar amount may not actually work with the creative idea you've got, or it may actually inform how your creative idea comes together, how you build it. So understanding it and knowing it, after a while, you start to figure out what is doable, what isn't doable pretty quickly. Majority of the way I would say is that you are given a budget, you're given an idea, and then hopefully they've both been sense checked against one another. You carve up that budget the best way that you can to give the best representation of the idea on screen. The best tip I can give you is know what things cost. Talk to your crew members, talk to people in the game, talk to people senior than you, but also you can check out adproacademy.com.au. In there, we have all the freelance rates that you will need. Budgets, most importantly, isn't about saying no. It's about defining what kind of yes is possible. It's your job to help figure out and help the team come up with the best way of representing the idea and giving them insight, giving them guidance. Money is such a big part of our interactions. We always want to make sure that clients, team members are always feeling like something is possible and something is yes. If you don't have the budget for it, and please, I've certainly learnt the hard way, don't go in and oversell it. Know what is possible, because it can come back and bite you in the butt. Also, another one is ask what the smartest version of the idea is, not the cheapest. Everyone can pull out something and make something cheap. But in this game, or in this way, it's about finding out the best version that we can do, or you can put the idea together with. And producers need to be in early. Particularly if you're agency side, you need someone to just sense check the idea, give some sort of reference or some sort of boundary, or that yes, this idea is possible, or no, you may have overcooked it, we need to scale it back, or it's about saying no, but. Victoria Connor's very big on that and mentioned it in her episode, in episode 26. It's not about saying no, it's about saying no, but. Always finding some way of giving this idea life without cutting it off at its knees. As soon as you do that, it takes away your negotiating tool, because with a no, it's such a hard and full stop. A no, but it starts to give you a realm to play in where you can start to help, guide, craft, because that's all people are looking for. They really just want someone who knows this, that it's their specialty, that can help bring this idea to life. Advertising Production Academy is a dedicated training platform for producers, marketers, and content teams working across advertising and creative production. With a focus on real-world application, the Academy offers free downloadable tools and a structured 6-week course that mirrors the actual flow of a campaign, from brief to final delivery. Explore what's available at adproacademy.com.au. That's adproacademy.com.au. And I've said it before, producers, they need to get in early. Just need to sense check an idea that it's possible within the budget. And again, if it's not in the realm, It's not a hard no, it's a no but. Also, another great tip by Victoria was her company, Eric, Tom and Bruce. They have a good, better, best model. And it sounded like such a great idea. You can be given a budget. And a lot of times production companies are. They're given a budget. You can go back and say, this is what you can get for this amount of money. Then you can go back and you can also have, hey, if you spend a little bit extra, you can get this, and define what it is. It can elevate the idea, make it that little bit better. And then the best idea, you can be like, okay, this is the top dollar. You can pay this and you can make this idea the best version that it can be. But then that also gives the person the ability to know, hey, you're working with them, you're trying to help them out, you're trying to give them the best ideas possible, and there might be a middle ground. You don't know if people are uncertain. You don't know the machinations within organizations and the discussions that they're having. So that good, better, best model really does serve as a great way of giving value to your clients and building trust as well. And it's actually a really great tool because it starts getting you thinking instead of it just being a narrow focus. This is the money. This is what I've got. As you start to think, hey, what could this do if we spent a bit more money here? Could this help the idea? Could we add this extra piece in? A lot of the time, you want to spend the money in front of the camera. And that's the biggest part of it. You want to take whatever money you can get and you want to put it in front of the camera you can offer. And particularly when you're putting an idea together, be ready to explain what things are and what they cost. And when you can explain to them or give them why something's being done, the cost of it and the value that it represents on screen, then you're already building trust. Now let's actually talk about how to use the money wisely. Working with the budget, particularly in this day and age, budgets are a bit tighter, they're a bit leaner, so you need to work smarter. Tell people what you've got. A great example of a producer who does this is Kat Cook. Kat runs Compadre in Brisbane. Kat, and I love her philosophy about it. It's episode 12 that Kat's in, open about the money that she has. And I believe that is a great way to operate with people as well. Be honest with the money that you have. And again, don't apologize for it. They can either say yes and they can say no. And it's another way of building trust. Another part of the budget, and a really, really important part, is contingency. You must have contingency within your budget. You need to have a contingency between 10 to 20%. And again, depending on the risk associated with the job, you may need more contingency to then cover things that pop up which are so unexpected. If anyone ever asks you if you have contingency, do not be afraid to tell them. It is expected. So don't be shy about it. And if people ever say, hey, can we lose money out of budgets? Because those talks come up, never ever lose the contingency. Change the idea or change parts of the idea to bring the budget down, but never ever take out your contingency. Well, what's the contingency for? There is a list of things that happen with projects, unforeseeable things that you just can't plan for. And one of the best things about having contingency is that it gives you the peace of mind. It's nothing worse than if there's something really, really tight and you are trying to micromanage every single dollar. The stress that brings with an already stressful role and stressful job, it's something that can be so easily managed. It helps you remain calm when things do start going off the rails. Tracking your budget. Everybody has many different ways of managing their money and knowing where it is going. You need to have a system where you can input the dollars right away. Anything that's being committed to or spent, you need to have a system or you need to have a document where you annotate those costs. Don't leave it until the end to table everything. Know where you're sitting at all times with your money. Me personally, I have a spreadsheet that I use. Very, very simple spreadsheet that is broken down into its different sections. It's got your pre-production, it's got your crew, it's got your post-production, your talent. It's at adproacademy.com.au. If you go to the resources link, you can download and you can find the document that I use. It has quoted and it has actuals. You put all the dollar amounts in, what you've quoted for, and then you just start putting actuals against it. So then it tallies right at the bottom. It tells you exactly where you are, how much money you've spent, how much money you've got left. But the key part of it is always annotate any amount of dollars that are spent. Each day, update that document. Myself personally, I've had experiences where I've misquoted thousands of dollars. And it's not an easy conversation to have. Mind you, I didn't have the right process in place. I didn't have the right account keeping, so to speak. So Ever since then, I'm well aware that I need to account for the dollars every single day, update your document. So to recap what we've got, budget. Certainly in leaner times, certainly in an economic environment where budgets are smaller, but that doesn't mean that it's a no to ideas that happen. You've got to be creative with your dollars that you have. Sense check ideas against budget. Be open with your budget. Don't be afraid to tell people what you have. It builds trust, it builds clarity, and it makes for a better working relationship. Don't be afraid to explain to people that need it what an idea or what a component is and the value that it's going to add to the project. Know your numbers. Most importantly, lean on the people that you know, people that are senior, people who've been in the game, and people that you trust. Ask them for advice. If you don't know something, ask them what the cost of something is. Always have yourself contingency. Never take it out. Tracking your costs. Keep an easy and simple document or a simple way of tracking every cost and update it daily. It's always a no but. You've got to figure out ways of crafting an idea, and you've got to figure out ways of not bringing the cheapest version but the best version to life with the money that you've got. And if you're looking for budget forms, money trackers, you can go to adproacademy.com.au. You can check out the resources link and you can find the documents that will support you when you're working and building your budgets. Well, that's it for today on Make the Logo Bigger. Thanks for hanging out with us. We've shared some insights and stories that I hope you found useful. Whether you're just getting started or diving deeper into ad production, there's always more to explore. Keep listening, stay curious, and we'll be back soon with some more from the world of production. Take care until then.